Welcome back, Baby Leaguers. Today we're gonna have a real momversation with one of my closest friends, Kimberly, on a great topic, adoption. First, I'd like to introduce Kimberly. She is my neighbor. We're lucky to live next door to her and her cute family, and you may recognize her and her boys from the many episodes of Kids Compete here on Baby League. Adoption is a very important topic, and I feel especially connected to it because it added a special member to our extended family, my niece, Nora. While no two adoption stories are alike, I really hope Kimberly's story will help start an open conversation. So Kimberly, can you tell us a little bit about your story and your boys?
Sure. It's a pretty unique story. We actually adopted my first son in the year 2009, and it was after several years of trying to have a child naturally, and that for whatever reason didn't work out for my husband and I, and so we had the blessing of being able to adopt our oldest. And after about 3 years of having him and just enjoying being a mom, being a dad, we were able to bring in our second son, and he came from a family locally, so we've had a lot of access through open adoption to be able to interact with parents and grandparents on that side, as well as just being able to have access to, things that I think we took for granted that we didn't have with our first adoption, which would be health histories and just the dynamic relationship that you didn't get to experience from an open adoption that's not so close-knit. And then last but not least, our third child came kind of as a surprise. We'd actually moved out of state, and we got a call, and our first birth mom, the mother of our oldest son, was pregnant again and wanted to place with us. So we were blessed to have a third baby that way.
And she loved you, obviously, because she wanted you to...
I think so. I mean, and we're
mother her other.
Yeah, we're very, very blessed.
That's
in that
awesome.
way.
That's wonderful. So I've known Kimberly for a long time now, and as I've gotten to know her and her story, I feel like I've been so impressed by how Kimberly and her husband Zach have been proactive in changing the conversation surrounding adoption, and especially with the connection you have with birth mothers. Right. So why do you think that change is important?
I think it's important because the birth mom is the person that brings this baby into the world. And they are an extension of the child that you love and that you see on a daily basis. And I feel like there's that added degree of a person that you have to think about when you make parenting choices for your children. So we've always decided that we needed to have open dialogue with our kiddos about who they came from and where they came from. And part of that is giving them that love story back to their birth mom. And what courageous women and men, we also have a birth father that's very close-knit with us as well, that gave us an opportunity that we didn't have to parent, and we forever love them for that.
Absolutely. It's about love, and it is so much about babies are being placed because of love, because their birth parents love them so much. Well, and that brings a good point up, is that a lot of times I feel like the conversation and the wording has changed throughout the years. I feel like we used to say give a baby up for adoption, and now we say placed a baby, because it is placing a baby with extra family. An additional family, an extension of love.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Yep.
So kids are naturally curious, and sometimes it's really hard to find the words to have the conversations about different types of families with our children. So do you have any tips on how we should be talking to our kids about adoption and about your situation?
I would say keep the dialogue open. I think the most important thing is for children and parents as well to feel like they can ask questions so they can become more knowledgeable. Because I don't think people that have asked us questions in a way that they simply are on a quest for knowledge, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I have always made it a point, and so has my husband, to have proactive experiences with people when they do ask us questions, because I think that knowledge gives them power, and to not know and to not ask, I think it kind of makes it a situation where it would be uncomfortable. So opening up those lines of communication when people do engage us and ask us about our children's story, to not make them feel like it's a weird thing, but having that normal conversation to normalize the conversation, I think is very important.
And it must come up more often because your children don't look alike or look like Zach or you. So I would imagine you encounter it more often.
Yes, actually, sometimes in less than convenient places, but yes, that conversation gets brought up. And just to also continue, like if somebody's brave enough and wants to know about our family story, I'm more than happy to share that. I'm proud of our story, and my boys all look different. I have 3 beautiful boys, and they look like a beautiful mix of the
it.
human race.
They're the best.
And the questions that I get asked, I always want to answer them with respect and just appreciation, because they're trying to get to know me as a person. And their exposure to adoption, I want it to always be positive.
Right. It helps people to understand that if they hear a lot of positive experiences, they're going to be more open and great. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much for having a real conversation with me. I love it. It was fun. Let's keep this conversation going in the comments below. If you have any thoughts or questions about adoption, we would love to hear them. And be sure to go and check out all the old episodes of Kids Compete, and you may just see all of our kiddos on the new season of Kids Compete on the Family channel. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to BabyLeague, and we'll see you next time. Bye.